Okay, so have you ever thought about what happens at a dinner table that has, say, fufu sitting right next to chopsticks?
Huh, that's a great image.
Right. Well, today we're diving into this really um, amazing personal story. It's about an Asian woman who married into a Ghanaian family.
It's quite an adventure, really. Blending two cultures that seem so distinct on the surface.
Exactly. So rich.
Yeah.
So different. But maybe surprisingly sharing quite a bit deep down.
And you know what's so powerful about stories like this one, the one we're looking at today, is how they kind of go beyond just one person's experience.
Mhm.
They really light up these universal ideas about, well, human connection, how we adapt.
Right.
So we're not just hearing a story, we're getting insights into handling culture shock, finding the funny moments, the unexpected laughter,
Yeah.
and discovering this really deep love, even when things are very different, this deep dive. It's sort of a shortcut to understanding those dynamics when worlds properly meet.
Exactly. So how we're going to map this out today? Well, we'll start with those first impressions, the inevitable culture shock stuff.
The big moments.
Yeah, the big moments.
Yeah.
Then we'll look at how she started to, not just embrace the new customs, but also share her own traditions, which is brave.
Takes courage.
Totally. And from there, we'll explore the common ground she found, which was maybe deeper than expected. And finally, look at the challenges, but also the unexpected joys that came out of this whole mix.
Sounds like a journey.
It really does. Let's get into how it all began. So from her point of view, those first few weeks in Ghana, she said it felt like stepping into, another dimension.
Wow.
The food, for instance. She said it wasn't just delicious, it was intense, like really intense.
Uh-huh. Intense how?
She talked about sweating from the Cheeto sauce, trying really hard to look polite while basically crying from the heat.
Oh, I can picture that. Trying to keep a straight face.
Right. While your mouth is on fire. Talk about cultural immersion, huh?
Oh, absolutely. And that immediate sensory thing, it's not just about taste, right? It's a huge part of culture shock.
Yeah.
It hits you everywhere physically with the new flavors, emotionally, processing all the sounds and sights, and socially figuring out the new rules.
Sure.
Her trial by fire with the Shito, that wasn't just about food. It was really like an initiation into the heart of Ghanaian food culture, which is often huge for hospitality.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it wasn't only the food. She mentioned the music, loud, super vibrant, the clothes, so colorful it felt like, a party every day.
Feast for the senses.
Totally. And the greetings, that was a big one. She learned quickly that respect is just central to everything there.
Ah, so?
Like using both hands to greet elders, sometimes kneeling, really learning to say, Akwaba, welcome with genuine warmth.
Gotcha.
Of course, she made mistakes. She told this story about wearing white to a funeral.
Oh, yeah, that's significant in Ghana.
Right. A major faux pas.
Yeah.
But what really struck her was how the family reacted. They didn't scold her or anything. No, they just kind of laughed gently and explained the meaning behind the funeral colors.
That reaction, that grace, that's really the foundation for making cultural integration work, isn't it?
It seems like it.
It shows this incredible acceptance and patience. And in these cross-cultural situations, it builds what we sometimes call cultural humility. Mistakes aren't failures.
Right.
They're seen as, necessary steps, maybe even celebrated steps towards getting it, towards fitting in. The laughter wasn't mean. It was like a gentle way of saying, okay, let's show you how this works.
Yeah.
Understanding the symbolism, like colors at funerals, it's not just tradition, it's like a visual language for mourning and respect. It really shows that when correction isn't punitive, it helps people belong faster, more genuinely.
That's a really powerful idea. So gradually she started moving from just watching to really participating.
Getting involved.
Yeah. Her first time trying to make fufu with her mother-in-law. And she admitted it was a total disaster. Apparently she nearly broke the pestle. But her mother-in-law wasn't bothered. Just smiled, showed her again, patiently. And she joined in everything weddings with all this amazing dancing, naming ceremonies for babies, funeral celebrations that she described as surprisingly joyful sometimes, not just solemn.
And that active participation, even messing up at first.
Like with the fufu.
Exactly. That shows a real willingness to learn, to commit. It's more than watching, it's doing. And that builds incredibly strong bonds. It's sort of like an apprenticeship within the family.
Yeah, I like that.
And it reminds us that cultural exchange isn't just one way. It's dynamic. It goes back and forth.
For sure. And she definitely brought her own culture into the mix, too. She'd cook her family's dumplings for her in-laws, introducing them to different tastes.
Oh, interesting. How did that go?
Good, I think. And she even tried teaching them chopsticks, apparently with mixed results.
I can imagine.
Then, for Lunar New Year, her new Ghanaian family got really into it. They wore red clothes, helped her light incense for her ancestors.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's in those moments, weaving her own stuff in, that she started seeing these deeper connections forming. But of course, it wasn't always smooth sailing. There were moments of tension,
Natural
misunderstandings, sometimes just because of language barriers, and different expectations sometimes about, how a wife should act or what her role was.
Yeah, those expectation clashes are common.
But underneath those surface things, she started finding something really powerful.
And this is where you see that idea of identity negotiation happening.
Okay.
Despite the friction, maybe moments of frustration, it's often the shared core values that build the strongest bridges. She realized that Ghanaian culture and many Asian cultures actually share fundamental things.
Like what?
Well, a deep, unwavering respect for elders, the huge importance of extended family, that incredible warmth and hospitality, a strong work ethic.
Wow, yeah?
These aren't small things, they're profound common ground. They form this deep foundation for connecting that goes way beyond the surface differences.
Exactly. She said even when they couldn't quite grasp the words, they usually understood the meaning, the intention behind things.
Right.
It really shows how shared values can sometimes communicate even better than language, Being in that position, though, is not always easy from the outside looking in. She's faced stereotypes.
Oh, like what?
People asking her things like, does your husband's family really accept you? Or just assuming she must have had to, give up her own culture entirely to fit in.
Yeah, that raises such a key point about how outside views often don't match the lived reality. Outsiders project their own assumptions, right? They often miss the organic blend, the real connection that builds over time. They focus on what they think is lost, not the growth, the expansion, the mutual enrichment that's actually happening.
Totally.
Her experience really pushes back against those simplistic ideas.
And she says what those people don't see is the immense joy. The spontaneous kitchen dance parties, the aunties who pray over her when she's sick, the cousins who now just call her sister.
That's beautiful.
This family welcomed her, she said. Maybe not perfectly, nobody's perfect, but with this overwhelming, unconditional love. And that, she said, that was way more than she ever expected. So when we look back at this whole incredible journey, what are the big takeaways?
Well, I think
she learned that love and respect, they really are universal languages. That's a huge one.
absolutely.
And the lesson that you don't have to shrink yourself to be accepted.
Right.
Instead, you bring your whole self, all your culture to the table. And by doing that, you actually create something new, something unique together.
Exactly. This story just powerfully shows how if you embrace adaptability and humility too, you can find so much beauty when cultures meet, not in conflict, but in celebration.
Yeah.
It's about enriching each other, expanding how you see the world, and building this shared future that's genuinely bigger than the sum of its parts.
And looking forward, she shared that they're really intentionally building that future now, one that honors both sides.
How are they doing that?
Well, it's this vision for their kids. Children who will speak two languages, who will eat jollof one night and noodles the next.
Best of both worlds.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they'll just know they belong to something rich and rare, as she put it, a real blend.
And that forward look, that really underlines the legacy of these kinds of unions, doesn't it?
It does.
It's not just about tolerating difference. It's about actively creating new traditions, new identities that are actually stronger because they draw from different wells. It's living proof of growth, evolution, and just the amazing possibilities when love leads the way.
So as you, listening, think about her journey, and maybe consider this. How can staying open, staying curious in your own life, how can that help you keep learning from love, whether it's in a cross-cultural thing or just any new experience you face?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Think about how that mindset, that openness, could lead to real personal growth for you and maybe help build a richer, more connected world for everyone.